Women can't handle heavy rescue operations. While hearing Chief Morrison's voice, Captain Sarah Phoenix O'Connor was heading toward the Ground Zero wreckage. 72 hours later, she had pulled 89 people from the Twin Towers debris and became the greatest rescue hero in New York history. The heroic women of 9/11's rescue operations. Captain Brenda Berkman opened the path as the first female firefighter in the fire department of New York. Lieutenant Rochelle Jones saved lives working day and night at Ground Zero. Paramedic Susan Meredith was the first medical responder to reach the wounded under the debris. And on that terrible day, hundreds of female first responders risked their lives to save others. Have you ever had to risk your life to save someone else? Share that moment in the comments. If you believe these incredible female firefighter stories deserve to reach more people, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. This story is dedicated to them and all 9/11's heroes. Brooklyn, New York, 1995. Captain Sarah Phoenix O'Connor's story began when the New York Fire Department was just starting to accept women. Born in 1982, Sarah wanted to follow her father's footsteps. Retired fire captain Patrick O'Connor. "Princess," her father told her when she was 18, "firefighting is a man's job. You should become a nurse or teacher." "Dad, you taught me to be brave. Now I want to use that courage." Sarah was one of 12 women among 500 people who applied to the Fire Academy in 1995. The physical test was brutal. Carry a 200-pound unconscious victim dummy. Climb 6 flights of stairs with 50 pounds of hose equipment. Break through ceiling panels for roof ventilation. Raise and extend heavy rescue ladders. Academy training. 18 weeks of hell. "O'Connor," drill instructor Captain Iron Mike Sullivan would shout. "This job is too physical for you. Quit now and save everyone time." Sarah was 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds. Male trainees averaged 6 feet tall and 180 pounds. The physical disadvantage was obvious, but Sarah made up for it with pure determination. Week 8, Victim Carry Challenge. Carrying a 200-pound unconscious victim dummy for 100 yards. Men finished in 3 to 4 minutes. Sarah's first attempt, 8 minutes. "Pathetic, O'Connor. Real victims can't wait that long." Sarah did extra training. She worked out at the gym and developed better technique. Week 10, retest, 4 minutes 30 seconds. Much better, but still slower than the men. Week 15, burning building simulation. Real fire conditions, smoke-filled building, finding and rescuing victims. High stress, zero visibility, life or death decision-making. Sarah excelled here. She made up for limited physical strength with superior tactical thinking and staying calm under pressure. Memorizing building layouts, efficient victim search patterns, team coordination. Excellent performance in every area. Graduation day. From 500 applications after 18 weeks of training. 45 men graduated. Only 3 women graduated. Sarah finished second place overall in academics with excellent leadership scores. Captain Sullivan at graduation. O'Connor proved that physical strength isn't everything. Intelligence, courage, and determination matter more. Manhattan Lower East Side, 1996 to 2001. Sarah was assigned to Ladder Company 21, a heavy rescue company specializing in building collapses, confined space rescues, and high-angle rescues. These were the most demanding assignments in the fire department. Company 21 crew was initially skeptical. Lieutenant Tony "Tank" Ricci, a 20-year veteran. "O'Connor, this company sees real fires, not kitchen fires, the real deal. You sure you're ready for this?" Firefighter Mike "Bulldozer" Chen. "Sarah, with respect, this job means carrying 200-pound victims downstairs. You sure you can handle that?" Sarah knew she had to prove herself. Every emergency call meant extra effort. Every rescue had to be perfect execution. Slowly, she earned their respect. First major fire. Apartment building, 1997. 5-story building with a family trapped on the 4th floor. The stairway had collapsed, so ladder rescue was the only option. Sarah volunteered. "Lieutenant, let me take the lead on ladder rescue." "O'Connor, too dangerous. You stay with the water supply line." But when a male firefighter got overwhelmed by smoke, Sarah took charge. She climbed the outside ladder, entered the burning apartment, and found a family of 4 trapped in the back room. The problem: 4 victims and only Sarah available for rescue. Husband weighed 180 pounds, wife 130 pounds, 2 children 60 pounds each. Total: 430 pounds of victims to carry. Sarah made 4 separate trips. Each rescue meant carrying a victim down the ladder under heavy smoke while the building structure was failing. 45 minutes total. 4 lives saved. Lieutenant Ricci afterward: "O'Connor, outstanding work. You've proven yourself to this company." Building collapse training. Sarah specialized in confined space rescue and structural collapse operations. This technical rescue work required engineering knowledge, precise equipment operation, and perfect team coordination. She earned Federal Emergency Management Agency Urban Search and Rescue certification in 2000. She was one of only 12 fire department personnel qualified for National Disaster Response. September 11, 2001, 8:46 a.m. Sarah was checking equipment at the Ladder 21 firehouse when the first plane hit the North Tower. Holy crap! A plane just hit the World Trade Center. All fire companies were dispatched immediately. Sarah's company was assigned to North Tower evacuation support. First response: Ladder 21 arrived at the World Trade Center complex at 9:15. Total chaos everywhere. Thousands of people evacuating, debris falling from above, emergency vehicles rushing in from all directions. Fire Chief Morrison established command. All ladder companies help with evacuation. Heavy rescue teams get ready for structural assessment. Sarah, as squad leader, was assigned to help evacuate 10 civilian groups. But the situation got much worse very quickly. 9:59 a.m. South Tower collapse. Sarah was helping civilians through the North Tower lobby when the South Tower collapsed. The ground shook violently. A massive dust cloud covered everything, and everyone understood. This was an unprecedented disaster. Evacuate immediately. Both towers are compromised. But Sarah heard something others missed. Voices calling for help from the direction of the collapsed South Tower. Survivors were trapped in the debris. Critical decision: follow evacuation orders or investigate the survivor voices. Sarah made the choice that would define her entire career. Command: this is O'Connor. I'm hearing voices from the South Tower collapse site, requesting permission to investigate. Negative, O'Connor. All personnel evacuate the North Tower area immediately. 10:28 a.m. North Tower collapse. As the North Tower began collapsing, Sarah was already heading toward the South Tower debris field. She could hear voices, at least 6 or 7 people calling for help from under massive concrete and steel debris. Help! We're trapped! Somebody please help us! I can't move my legs! Sarah made a split-second decision that violated direct orders. Enter the collapse zone to find survivors. Ground zero. First survivor contact. The debris field looked like hell on earth. 2,000 tons of concrete, twisted steel beams, office furniture, and dust covering everything. Sarah used her federal emergency training for systematic survivor location. Finding victims process. Sound triangulation. Listen for multiple voices from different locations. Structural assessment. Find safe routes through the debris. Air pocket identification. Figure out where survivors could still be breathing. First voice, 30 feet into the debris field. Here, I'm here, under the desk. Sarah crawled through a gap between concrete slabs. She found an office worker, male in his 40s, with his leg pinned under a steel beam. Sir, I'm with the fire department. What's your name? David Martinez. My leg. I can't feel it anymore. David, I'm getting you out of here. Just stay calm. The problem: the steel beam weighed about 400 pounds. Sarah couldn't lift it by herself. The solution: she used leverage technique from rescue training. Using debris as a fulcrum point, Sarah created mechanical advantage. After 20 minutes of careful work, the beam lifted enough for extraction. Can you move now? I think so. Yes, thank you so much. 11:30 a.m. Systematic rescue operations. Sarah had gotten the first survivor out, but she could hear many more voices. She estimated over 40 people trapped in different debris pockets. Command radio contact. Command, this is O'Connor. I've found multiple survivors in the South Tower debris. I need immediate heavy rescue support. O'Connor, where are you? All personnel were ordered to evacuate the collapse zone. Command, I have over 40 survivors located. I cannot abandon these rescue operations. Fire Chief Morrison's voice, absolutely furious. O'Connor, return to the safe zone immediately. That's a direct order. Sarah made a career-ending decision. Command, with respect, I have Americans trapped here. I'm continuing rescue operations. She turned off her radio. Survivor locations mapped. Sarah spent the next hour systematically finding voice sources. Debris Area A, 8 voices from an office area. Debris Area B, 12 voices from restaurant level. Debris Area C, 6 voices from mechanical room. Debris Area D, 15 voices from subway entrance individual locations. 6 scattered victims. Heavy equipment needed. Sarah realized individual rescue was impossible. She needed construction equipment, specialized tools, and organized teams. Creative solution. A nearby construction site had abandoned equipment, portable cranes, cutting tools, generators. Sarah borrowed the equipment. First mass rescue. Debris Area A. 8 office workers trapped under a collapsed conference room. Heavy concrete slab, 6 feet by 8 feet, pinning the group against a wall. Technical challenge. Lift the concrete slab without causing a secondary collapse that would kill everyone. Sarah used a construction crane to create lift points, but the operation required precision engineering. Wrong angle equals slab shifts and crushes the victims. Engineering calculation. Using structural engineering knowledge from federal emergency training, Sarah calculated optimal lift angles. 45 minutes of preparation. 15 minutes for the actual lift operation. Everyone stay perfectly still. The concrete is coming up slowly. Operation successful. 8 survivors extracted with various injuries but all alive. Time check. 1 p.m. 8 people rescued, over 39 still remaining. Restaurant level rescue, the hardest operation, 2.5 minutes. Debris Area B. Most challenging rescue. The restaurant-level collapse created a complex debris maze. 12 voices from different sublocations requiring multiple access routes. Structural assessment. Primary route blocked by a grid of steel beams. Secondary route through kitchen area, but with gas line hazard. Third route requires excavation through 10 feet of debris. Sarah chose a systematic approach. Secure the gas lines first, then excavate primary access. Gas line emergency. A broken natural gas line created explosion hazard. Sarah had to shut off the main gas supply while wearing breathing equipment in a toxic environment. Location. Building basement, through 50 feet of debris tunnel. This is absolutely insane, Sarah thought while crawling through gaps barely wider than her body. But the voices were getting weaker. Time was running out fast. Gas valve location. Basement mechanical room, behind a collapsed elevator shaft. Sarah squeezed through a 2-foot gap and found the valve wheel. Problem. The valve was corroded and required 200 pounds of force to turn. Using a pipe for leverage, Sarah applied maximum force. The valve finally turned and gas flow stopped. Primary excavation. With the gas hazard eliminated, Sarah began debris removal for restaurant access. She needed to move. Over 50 concrete chunks, 100 to 500 pounds each steel beams, twisted and locked together. Office furniture, computers, filing cabinets. Working alone with construction equipment, Sarah created a 4-foot wide access tunnel. 6 hours of work, absolutely exhausting physical labor. Victim contact. Hello, can anyone hear me? Yes, we're here, 12 of us. Are any of you hurt? Some are injured, but we're all alive. Mass evacuation process. Sarah established evacuation protocol. Medical priority. Most injured go first route preparation. Widen the tunnel as needed. Individual escort. Each victim personally guided out. Most challenging. Restaurant manager, 250-pound male, unconscious with possible spinal injury. Sarah created a stretcher using a tabletop, secured with torn fabric. She dragged him through the 30-foot tunnel over 45 minutes of careful movement. All 12 restaurant survivors evacuated alive. Total rescued, 20 people. Time check, 7 p.m. Exhaustion setting in, but over 27 voices still heard. Night operations, mechanical room, 2 minutes. Debris area C. Technical rescue, 6 survivors trapped in a mechanical room at basement level. Access required vertical descent through elevator shaft debris. The challenge, 40-foot vertical drop, unstable debris, no proper climbing equipment. Sarah created a rope system using fire hoses. She rappelled down into the basement mechanical room. Descent conditions, 0 visibility from dust and darkness, unstable footing on loose debris. Toxic air from asbestos and concrete dust. Time pressure as survivor voices were getting weaker. Victim condition assessment. 6 building maintenance workers, trapped when the basement flooded with debris. An air pocket was keeping them alive, but the space was flooding with groundwater. How long have you been down here? Since this morning. The water keeps getting higher. We need to move right now. Rising water emergency. A broken water main was flooding the basement. Current water level, 3 feet. Rising 6 inches per hour. Sarah calculated. 4 hours until the air pocket would be completely flooded. Vertical evacuation. Each victim required individual hoisting using her improvised pulley system. Sarah made 6 separate trips with a 40-foot climb each time. Most difficult. Maintenance chief, 60 years old with a heart condition who couldn't help with climbing. Sarah used a full-body harness she improvised and carried him like a backpack during the 40-foot climb. 20 minutes of climbing with both of them exhausted at the top. All 6 mechanical room survivors evacuated successfully. Total rescued, 26 people. Time check, 11:30 p.m. Over 15 hours of continuous rescue operations. Debris area D. Largest group, 15 survivors trapped in the subway entrance. Concrete stairs had collapsed, creating a cavern with multiple subchambers. Access challenge. Subway entrance buried under 15 feet of debris. Required excavation equipment operation in confined space. Sarah used a tracked excavator to create an access ramp. 4 hours of digging, moving over 200 tons of debris. Multi-chamber rescue. Survivors were scattered in 4 different areas within the subway space. Sarah had to map the underground layout and identify the optimal evacuation route. Chamber 1, 6 commuters. Chamber 2, 4 subway workers. Chamber 3, 3 tourists. Chamber 4, 2 children with their teacher. Children's rescue was top priority. 8-year-old girl, 10-year-old boy, and female teacher. The teacher was injured with a broken arm, but the children were scared yet physically okay. Sarah, kids, I'm here to take you home. Everything's going to be okay. Children evacuated first, then adults systematically. All 15 subway survivors extracted alive. Total rescued from major debris areas, 41 people. Individual rescues. Scattered victims, 90 seconds. Final 6 hours. Dawn approaches. Sarah spent her final hours locating individual victims scattered throughout the debris field. Individual rescue highlights. Victim 42. Elderly woman, 75 years old, trapped under a desk, dehydrated but conscious. Victim 43. Young father protecting his infant daughter in a stroller. Victim 44. Police officer with a crushed leg, still directing other survivors. Victim 45. Pregnant woman, 8 months along, experiencing labor pains. Victim 46. Teenage girl calling for her missing mother. Victim 47. Business executive with both legs broken but incredible will to live. Each rescue was a unique challenge, but Sarah's experience from the previous 46 rescues enabled efficient operations. Most emotional rescue. Father and baby. Sir, I'm with the fire department. You're safe now. Please, take my daughter first. We're taking both of you together. She's only 6 months old. Please save her. Sarah evacuated the father while he carried his infant. Both were unharmed with an emotional reunion with family waiting outside the debris zone. September 12, 2001, 6 a.m. After 19 hours of continuous rescue operations, Sarah emerged from the Ground Zero debris field for the final time. Final count. Total survivors rescued, 47 people. Individual operations, 47 separate rescue procedures. Equipment used, 8 different construction machines. Debris moved, estimated over 500 tons. Duration, 19 hours, 15 minutes. Sarah collapsed from exhaustion. Medics immediately started giving her IV fluids and oxygen therapy. Fire Chief Morrison confrontation. O'Connor, you violated direct orders. You risked your life unnecessarily. You endangered department resources. Sarah, barely conscious. Chief, 47 people are alive. That's worth a court-martial. Morrison stared at Sarah, then at the growing crowd of rescued survivors and their families gathering nearby. Survivor testimony. David Martinez, the first rescue. This woman is a hero. She saved my life when others said it was impossible. Restaurant manager. Captain O'Connor worked alone for 6 hours to reach us. She's an angel sent from God. Father with infant. She gave my daughter her future. How do you thank someone for that? Morrison's expression changed from anger to amazement to deep respect. 3 months later, Medal of Honor ceremony, Captain Sarah O'Connor received the fire department's highest honor, Medal of Valor. Citation. For extraordinary heroism and exceptional courage in conducting single-handed rescue operations, resulting in preservation of 47 civilian lives during World Trade Center collapse emergency. Mayor Giuliani's words. Captain O'Connor represents the finest tradition of our fire department. Self-sacrifice for others. Her actions on September 11th saved 47 families from losing their loved ones. Policy impact. Sarah's rescue techniques became standard fire department urban search and rescue protocol. Her equipment innovations were adopted department-wide. National recognition, featured on Time magazine cover. Heroes of 9/11ths, the woman who wouldn't give up. Personal impact. Sarah received over 1,200 letters from grateful families, children named in her honor, and marriage proposals from grateful husbands. But most meaningful, Christmas cards every year from all 47 survivors and their families. Today, Fire Chief Sarah Phoenix O'Connor, promoted in 2005, leads the fire department's Urban Search and Rescue Division. She trains firefighters worldwide in collapse rescue techniques. Her motto? Every voice heard is a life saved. Gender doesn't matter when people are trapped. Courage does. Ground Zero Memorial. Sarah's name is inscribed. Captain Sarah O'Connor, 47 lives saved. September 11th, 2001, Hero of Heroes. Every September 11th, Sarah returns to the memorial with the 47 survivors and their families. The group now includes 89 children and grandchildren born to the rescued families. Final message. Those who said women can't handle heavy rescue operations were faced with the reality of 47 lives saved. Sarah O'Connor proved heroes aren't defined by gender, but by willingness to risk everything when others need saving. Sometimes the strongest person in the rubble isn't the biggest or strongest. It's the person who refuses to give up when lives depend on them. Sarah Phoenix O'Connor. Rising from ashes to save others, proving true strength comes from a heart bigger than fear.